Hey devs, welcome to the new video. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can create a real lightning scene. Okay, so I just prepared a little level like that. As you can see, there's just a couple walls, two chairs, one desk, and there's a one good couch. And we have some windows in here and in there. So right now in this scene, there's nothing. I only have one directional light. And as you can see, as everyone knows, right now it is giving us a 10 lux. So let's talk about this value, 10 lux. What that means? It means 10 luminance per square meter. And this is the maximum value of what can directional light, which is aka sun, can give it to the scene. So is it realistically accurate, like how light works in the real life? First, I'm gonna say to you, this cannot be happen in a real life situation. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna delete this thing, and we're not gonna use directional light right away. First, let's create our sky. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go to content, all, make sure you can see developers and engine content. After that, I'm gonna type editor sphere. Why editor sphere? Because on a UV sense, it is the best thing we can use. So that's why I'm going to use it. We have an editor sphere, and I'm gonna make 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. So basically, we're gonna use this editor sphere as our sky. Right now, there's nothing in the scene. Let's go to the unlit mode. So next, what we need to find an XDR file, not HDRI, because HDRI in Unreal Engine the engine see that as a texture cube, but we need just texture. So that's why we're gonna use XDR files. And I choose this one, Autumn Field from Polyheaven. We can clearly see the sun disk in here, and all the maps looking good. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna leave all the links in the description. You can download from there too. So I'm gonna download 4K and EXR file. Let's download it. Okay, I bring my XDRI into the Unreal Engine. As you can see, it is the engine seeing this as only texture, not the texture cube, which is good for us. And what I'm gonna do, I don't want compress this, so just HDR high precision, and in the texture group, I'm gonna check this as a skybox, and we're saving it. What we need to do, we need to create a material. Let's create it, and let's say M under sky. Let's open it. In here, I'm gonna make this unlit. We only need emissive color. I will use this autumn field. I'm gonna convert to parameter, and I will say sky texture XRI. And we just need one value, convert to parameter, and I will say brightness. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna multiply this value with brightness and give it to the emissive. Let's start with 4,000. Don't scare, I know it's a lot, but I'm gonna explain it. Make sure to click two-sided, because actually we're gonna be inside of the sphere. So we came to the scene, we don't have any light source in the scene right now, and we're in the lit mode. I'm gonna get the sky material and put into my editor sphere, and we have insane bloom. Let's go outside. Okay, as you can see, auto exposure is fixing everything for us, but we're not gonna do it this way. We're gonna change a lot. What I'm gonna do else, let's put a skylight to the scene. Gonna make it captured. Okay. So when you look at the scene, where's our sun? It's in here. And is there anything we can check shadows? Maybe we can understand from the grass. I'm also gonna rotate this to sun position. Be directly close to the window. Okay. We have our sun, we have our sky, and we have our skylight. And do not click real-time capture. We're gonna capture every time we made changes because it's working better. When we look at the sun disk, as you can see, it is not in the top. So what time it could be? I believe it is around 3 to 4 p.m. So what that means? It means we are not, the sun is not hitting directly from the top. It is more rotated. So we must have more shadows. And in general, sun luminance can be a little less than at 12 p.m. And we don't have so many clouds in the scene. So let's go back to our page, and I'm going to show you something. When you search orders of magnitude illuminance, it will give us some illuminance numbers in real world situations. So let's check one of those are candela values, but it is okay. So it says in average clear sky, it is 7,000 candela square per meter. So when we checked our scene, we must get around 7,000 in an average clear sky, right? So let's go back to our scene. Also, I'm going to create post process volume for exposure, and let's make it to the 0 and infinite extent and bound. Okay. So how are we gonna know what is our candela? What is our luminance value in the scene? Let's go to the show. In here, go to visualize, and in here, click HDRI adaptation. It is giving us some numbers. Just check the luminance meter. Right now, in our sun, we're getting around 5, 6, 7, 8 in 10,000 in the middle. Let's go around somewhere like that. It is just 800. In here, it is becoming 1,000, 800, 600, 600. So in a clear sky, we must get around 7,000. So what that means we need to increase our lights a lot. So let's go back to our brightness, and I'm gonna make it 12,000, David. Okay. In a close position to sun disk, we're getting 7,000. By the way, this is our exposure value. I'm also going to show you what can you do with that. 1,000. Okay. In more clear positions, we're getting 7,000. 1,000. 1,000. In sun, it's getting crazy, but 5,000. It is not that bad. So let's go to the skylight and recapture. So because our minimum and maximum EV100 value is in their max, or exposure value can change a lot based on our eye adaptation. For example, let's get inside of this here, and you can see now it's went to around 9. Right now our EV10 value it's 9.13. When I got outside, it is rising so fast so it can balance what can we see. It is adapting our eye or in camera in this situation. But for this scene, we need to fix the exposure problem because outside and inside. As you can see, when I checked from outside, let me close eye adaptation. When you look outside, it is looking pretty dark, but when I get inside, as you can see, it is getting lighter and outside being overexposured. How they fixed this problem in the games, they're using some kind of exposure diagram and they're using different exposure values for inside and outside of the scene, or they just baking it. So lights and exposure values can stay static. They're not changing a lot most of the time, or some of the lights don't, some of the lights don't. But I want to do something else. Let's go to our exposure value. By the way, those are all just Wikipedia pages. Let's check the lighting condition. It says in a typical scene in hazy sunlight with soft shadows, the EV100 must be around 14. So let's lock our EV100 to 14 and let's see what is going to happen. Okay, it says it is the accurate EV100 value for some situations, of course, because these values can be changed based on the situation, what kind of camera we are using, what kind of lens, what is our shutter speed, what is our f-stop. So I'm not getting to so much. I'm just showing you how you can use this HDR or XDR map as a reference so you can see this. Then you can turn this map into a normal lumen global illumination method. You can just put your lights, you can put your clouds and sky atmosphere and stuff, so you can have the same thing. So I just locked our values to the 14, and I'm just gonna make this to 1. And let's go to skylight and capture it. So when you look from outside, do you think this building looking a part of this scene? Right, I believe right now it is looking a bit darker than the actual scene. So what we can to change it, let's go to our skylight and make it our intensity scale 2. I think it is now a bit over saturated. I think 1.5 working fine. And we set it our exposure to 14. Get inside. So in this kind of sunny day, the lightning inside of this place cannot look like that. So next step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create directional light into the scene. Okay, so let's check our values again so fast. In post-process volume or exposure lock to 14. And our editor sphere or sky material is brightness is 12,000. And our skylight is just intensity scale 1, and we don't making real capture. How does it capture? It is getting the data from the sky, and it is calculating how much light can be emitted from this sky map, and it is giving that much sky to do our map. So what I'm gonna do, our cube map resolution a bit low, so I'm gonna make it 2K at least. Recapture just for resolution purposes. Now let's get into the inside. Actually, it doesn't look bad. It is okay, but we have some technical issues. First, there is no light emitted from the windows to the inside of the building from the sun, because skylight doesn't do that. So next step, we're gonna add a directional light. I just added. By the way, if you don't know what is this gizmo, just go to plugins, type gizmo, Nivtera gizmos, and editor preferences, enable this one, new one. So we have a directional light, and as you can see, we're getting 10 lux, which is impossible for real situation. So based on our time of the day, it's around 3 4 p.m. and it's a clear sky. I'm just gonna make around, let's make 7,000. Okay, we have some shadows and lights inside of our building. But we have one problem. The light doesn't exactly coming as like our sun. So we can change a bit. I'm just gonna rotate a bit so we can have longer light values. Yeah, that's cool. And we're using 7,000. So let's go to our show, visualize, and HDRI. So what we getting? We're getting 3,000 for 5,000 close to the sun, and in other side it is like 1 2,000 in direct sky. Sky is not in the middle, so the lower will be bigger. Yes, as you can see, it's 7,000, 6,000. Okay, I'm gonna close this one too. Just not let focus to numbers right now, and let's check the scene. Do you think these all materials is fitting with sky? I think yes. Lightning color, as you can see, it is not fully white because the sun is not in the perfect position, like in 12 p.m. So what we can do, we can go to here. By the way, don't change the light color anytime if you're not using any like fantasy map or something. So it's 6,500 right now. We can go with 6,200. Let's make a bit warmer. Inside of the here, we can clearly see this outside, which is pretty cool because our exposure EV100 value fixed on outside, not the inside. There's two options right now. We can create another post-process material only for the inside of the house, or we can fake it lights in here. So let's check the both solutions. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna create a different post-process volume. Okay. And I'm gonna rename this inner PS. Let's get into the inner PS, and in here, so because this is inside, let's make it something like 8. It is too bright. Let's make it 11. Okay. Looking better. Sure. I don't want to play with exposure compensation value. I'm just playing with UV 100 for eye adaptation. We can do like that, but I want outside look good as much as the inside. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna disable this and we're gonna fake it some lights inside of here. Okay, so what we have done, I just added one rectangular light and inside it's giving a bit more light and it is acting like coming from the windows. I have one point light. Normally I don't like to use point light. Directly put to this window because point light is not a real light actually. Like there is no light coming. That source you can say bulb, but bulb is also not working like that because the source of this light is not that real. But still, it's okay. So inside of here, and also I added more indirect lighting to our skylight and directional light, as you can see. I'm not using any exponential high fork right now. And I think everything looks pretty good. So we got it more realistic light in the scene, and outside is looking pretty good. We have some light issue in here because of the rec light. We can do light. We have less and it's acting from the sun. So everything looks okay. Gonna clean everything, and let's go to our post-process volume to path trace, reference atmosphere, depth of the field. Okay, so I think everything looks cool in path tracing too. Let's go to lit again. There's obviously difference how light is leaking. I'm just gonna check one thing. Is or it? But no, I don't think so. It is looking pretty good when I go outside. It is still okay. It's part of the environment. And recapture. So I just showed you what is my workflow to create a more realistic light. I hope you like it. If you like it, like the video and write a comment down below. I just want to learn what you're doing to create some lightning scenarios. You can write it in there too. Also, I'm leaving a link in the description so you can check it more. If you want more detailed video about this lightning workflow, please also write a comment about that. Until the next video, see you all. I hope you all doing great work.